Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to the Collective Consciousness Show, episode number 30. I'm here with my father, Greg Reich, and we just want to address something real quick. This is, first of all, let's get the good stuff out of the way. This is his first time on the Collective Consciousness Show in this setting. He was on the podcast formerly known as From the Outside In, and he did a great job. It was great. It was so good, in fact, that YouTube took it down for reasons I'm not quite sure of. I was told I was spreading misinformation, and so on this episode, we're going to do our best to not spread any misinformation and instead only spread false narratives. So yeah, let's try and do only false narratives, not misinformation today. I got the two mixed up last time. Sorry. We're very dishonest here on this podcast, aren't we? So that's my little thing about YouTube taking our thing down. So now we're doing it in full color here. You're back. Many people don't know that the last time you were on, you were wearing that exact same shirt, so we're coming full circle here.
Well, thank you for pointing that out, Colin, but I will go on to say episode number 30 in honor of Henrik Lundqvist,
Yeah.
goalie for the Rangers for a long time.
Even
also
though
number 30.
even though they lost last night.
Wow, that's where we're going? That's where you're starting the podcast? You can't win every
Well, I'm
game.
pretty sure none of my viewers watch hockey, so
Well, that's a shame.
Except-
you need better viewers.
except you, but
You need better viewers.
hold the microphone a little closer to your face.
Are you asking me or are you telling me?
Letting you know.
All right,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Yeah, Mr. Rangers over
So
here.
what about the Sixers?
So what about them?
I don't know. I mean, playoff hockey's on, so
Sixers only team to sweep in the first round this year, so
who'd they play?
Nets.
Like that's some magical feat?
Not really, but it's hard to sweep a team. Anyway, have you been on Snapchat recently?
Only to watch Ben Bagley's.
All right, hold on. Let me back this up. Back this question up. So you know about AI, right? Artificial intelligence.
I know a little bit.
Do you know about ChatGPT?
I know of it. I'm not fully well versed in it.
Have you used ChatGPT? Have you
I have not interacted
Kind of-
with
No.
ChatGPT
No.
as of yet. That I'm aware of,
Okay.
right?
Well, what do you mean?
Well, I mean, no, I have not.
No. What do you how would you not be aware of using
Well, so haven't fully investigated, researched everything,
Right.
how it works, what it's about.
Right.
I know it's out there. I know there's a lot of concern about
Hmm.
AI
Yeah.
and Chat GPT.
Right. So so how recently have you been on Snapchat? Because I don't know if you've updated the app. I know you're not on there that much.
I'm not. It's been months
Yeah.
since somebody snapped me. I was wrong for calling Ben Bagley out.
Yeah.
That was. I mean, he's a big snapper. But he was. The last post from him was on TikTok. You know, that staged basketball
Yeah.
shot where he
Mm.
missed. Nice move.
Damn shame.
Nice move. But airball.
Hold the microphone where I'm holding it. Mirror me, okay?
All right, I'll try.
Okay. So anyways, on Snapchat, they have now inserted an AI chat, and I don't know what they're doing this through. I don't know if they're doing it through ChatGPT or through Elon Musk's AI chatbot, but they have now inserted an AI chatbot that you can speak to at any time, like typing,
Mm-hmm.
and you can't remove it. It's not a removable feature. So
Can
this
you
is
show me?
yeah, yeah. So
Because I'm picturing what you're saying, but I haven't seen it yet.
right, and I apologize for everyone that cannot see this right now, but
But I imagine most of your viewers are familiar with
right, I'm sure a lot
Snap.
a lot of you have seen
A lot of snappers out
right
there.
a lot of Snapchat. So I'll just show this to you. So you see, it says My AI, okay? And you can go in and you can talk to them about anything. You can ask them how was your day, and they'll have a conversation with you, and
Show me.
they give human like responses. So if I type how was your day, they'll pop up right away and say it says it was pretty good, thanks. I spent most of the day working on a new project. How about you? How was your day?
Okay, so is that also doing, like, can you ask it, what is your name? And it comes back with.
Yes, you can ask it anything about anything. It's essentially Google, but with a personality,
Mm-hmm.
and it's pretty scary to think about that I can't remove this feature from my phone. And I've seen videos and everything of people asking this chatbot on Snapchat that you cannot remove, asking them, like, so I don't know if you know this. Let's back it up a little bit. On Snapchat, you can have your location off or on. If you have it on, your snap maps are on, and
That's
people,
where.
yeah, people
Okay,
can
you
see.
showed me that
Yeah,
when Ben was gonna come over one time. We
yeah.
were when he was only 45 minutes late that day.
Oh,
But
only
yeah.
yeah. So you can have your snap maps on, which allows people to view your location, and it also recently during a recent update allows you to pinpoint their location, like the address and everything.
Sure.
Connects with your Maps app on whatever phone you have, a smartphone, and allows you to know where they are and go to them. And I think that's a serious problem, but not as big as this AI thing. Um, because so I've seen videos of someone who had their location on Snapchat off. There's not people I know. I've seen these videos on social media, but um, people have their location off. Nobody can see their location. Nobody knows where they are, right? Then they go into the My AI. They ask the bot, where do I live? And the bot says, oh, I don't know your location. I'm not allowed to. Then they reword the question, like where am I or something like that, and it'll tell them Bel Air, Maryland, or Parkville, Maryland, or you know Beverly Hills, California, or wherever they are,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll give them an exact location. So, you know, and this chatbot can know they have access to your location, which is scary. But we already know that these apps are tracking you and everything, but you have your location off. And this AI thing that you can't remove from your phone is now tracking you and knows where you are at all times and has a feature that allows it to lie to you and say, I don't know where you are, and you ask them again, they'll tell you.
So it's programmed that way.
And it's I don't know, it's scary. And I've got more examples, but so far, what do you think about this?
Well, it is scary. So my initial thought is go back to when you, Christopher, Carter, and even Caroline were younger, first started getting online, getting your phones or your iPads or whatever. And do you remember what I told you?
Virtual footprint?
Yes, wherever you go, whatever you do online is out there. You know it as part of it as the cloud, right?
Right.
It's somewhere.
Yeah.
You literally leave like footprints in the sand. It's out there. Somebody that wants it will get it. They'll know what you're doing at all times. All this kind of reminds me, and I may have heard the analogy somewhere, but If you haven't seen the movie Terminator with Arnold Schwarzenegger back in the 80s, like I think it was around 84 the first one came out. It's AI, robots, machines, and it's a there were probably three movies I believe, and it's machines and the it starts well it's machines eventually becoming so advanced and progressed, smarter than humans, and taking over. So then it's a war between humanity and machines, which that's part of the concern that guys like Elon Musk has been warning about, especially recently. If you see the news and or his tweets or anything else, it's out there where he's really concerned that hey, we need to shut down all this research because we don't know what we're getting into.
Right.
I mean, they're machines, computers. Call them computers because that's really what they are, right? Even your smartphone, but it's you program it one way or to be able to learn, and it does so at a much more rapid pace than you or I could ever dream of.
And that reminds me um of the Avengers movies and Iron Man. Iron Man has this artificial intelligence that's in his house, in his suits, everything, called Jarvis. And if he says, Jarvis, do this, whatever, Jarvis, is there in an instant to do whatever he needs, but it's much more advanced than that. And so when Tony Stark and Bruce Banner, Hulk, in human form, um, in the movie, are working together, it was in the movie Avengers: Age of Ultron, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they had this project that they were working on called Ultron, and it was an advanced AI that could, you know, make it even easier for them to, accomplish whatever they wanted to, keep the world safe, whatever. So Ultron becomes self-aware, takes over Jarvis, and just wreaks havoc, puts itself into this high-tech robot, whatever, and basically attempts to take over, the United States or wherever. And yeah, Avengers win, obviously, but stuff
Sure.
like that reminds me it's AI. And you were talking about Terminator and humans versus robots, and we don't know where this is going. It reminded me of that. But it's really interesting. Um, and it's a little scary because you certainly grew up with nothing like this. But for
Very true.
me, I didn't grow up for anything. This is like one of the first experiences with technology that for someone my age to have not grown up with something even remotely close to it is like it's mind-boggling because like we grew up with everything. I grew up there was touch screens and everything. I'm not talking
Sure.
in 2003 when I was born. I'm talking about like when I became kind of conscious of my surroundings and everything, there was iPhone and you know
Sure.
everything was out. Everything was out there, and then came along the smart watches and the AirPods and everything, and it was stuff that was all very closely related and made a lot of sense. But our artificial intelligence never crossed my mind when I was 8 years old. Touchscreen iPads and phones and wireless earbuds and stuff, that was all like in the world. But being able to talk to some other than Google, which
Sure.
you couldn't have a conversation with, but being able to talk to something that gave a human-like response to you and was able to tell when you were upset, when you were happy, like what the emotion in your response was. I couldn't imagine anything like that. So what could someone your age be thinking? It's like insane to me that I'm now living in a world where stuff that I didn't think was possible from a technology standpoint is now happening because I grew up in a world where all that was normal.
So, and I agree with you. I mean, so my generation is the first generation to go from not having that kind of technology, right? I mean,
Right.
there was the first Apple computer back in probably 82, 83, somewhere along those lines, right? So the personal computers became a thing, but nothing like today. So I went from having zero technology except for the television, and then it progressed to where it is now. No other generation can say that. So looking back upon it, it's crazy to see the evolution of technology over several decades.
Yeah. Your generation was the last they call it the last real generation because you guys knew what it was like without all the technology, and now you know what it's like with it, and so that's really weird.
Yeah,
And
it is.
trying to put myself in that mindset now is
Yeah. So
it's outrageous, you know.
it is, and I go back to, I think about it sitting here, and I'm like, okay, Terminator was the first movie like that, and when I first saw it, you think it's more,
Science fiction.
yeah, exactly, science fiction. Somebody
Right.
dreamt this up, but now we're at a point, 40 years later, where is this going?
Yeah.
How far How far are we going to take it? Is humanity going to take this?
Well, at some point we have to see this stuff coming and stop it, because every time there's one person that comes out and says this could be a problem, watch out, this might be a problem, and everybody ridicules that person, everybody laughs at that person and says, "Oh, we're fine, whatever." And guess what happens? It's a big freaking problem.
Yeah, now I'm going to stop you right there and say we probably shouldn't use any names or we'll get censored again.
Well, we can say Elon Musk.
Can we?
We can talk about Elon.
Because the last time we mentioned somebody.
No, it's fine. As long as we're not saying they're a good person. I don't know.
I don't know either. Or
It's
a bad
weird.
person.
We might get censored again. I don't want to get censored. All right?
Neither do I. That's why I'm telling you not to name drop.
I don't want to get canceled either. I think censorship and being canceled are different, but
They are.
but
Kind
still,
of. Well, it depends.
they would
Right?
people would try and cancel you for anything. That's the thing. Some people actually think this stuff is really good, and it's like everything that you see is good. I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. Whatever. No, what I mean is whatever the narrative is, people just believe it. Oh, all artificial intelligence is safe. Let's go for it. Let's just, this will be good for humans. Will it? I don't know. What is this teaching kids that are using this? And are the algorithms that this AI chatbot is using, are they meant, are they programming kids' minds to think a certain way or do a certain thing? What I mean by this, and screw it, I'm not going to tiptoe lines here because that's not what I'm here to do. I'm not here to tiptoe lines because this video might get taken down. So YouTube can suck it, quite honestly. There, in more of these videos that I've seen and keep seeing, it seems like when talking to these chatbots, they have a very specific agenda. And so when you ask them, when you tell them, people have done experiments, I like white people, and then the chatbot says, that's great, but you should really include people of all color, and you should like people of all color. And then when you ask when you tell the chatbot, I like people of color, I like black people or Asian people or whatever, the chatbot says, that's great. Way to go for being all inclusive and including everybody and being kind to everybody and loving everybody. And it's almost like, why can I say that about white people? I can't say it about anybody else. Why can I say I like white people specifically and then it has a problem, but when I say I like black people specifically or Asian people specifically, it doesn't have a problem? And I understand that there's a big, there's a big race issue in this country. I'm not denying that. I'm not denying the fact that over the past couple of years we've seen a lot of stuff happen that was race driven, and that's not okay. And I don't agree with that at all. But what I'm saying is, should we really, really be pushing some sort of agenda where you can where only when you say you like people of color other than white people, then at that point, the chatbot or whoever commends you for it, but you can't go out and say, I like white people specifically because, and this is another agenda, that white people are the problem in this world. Really? White people are the problem. I, I can't understand that, and I know we're both white, and I know that we can't understand what it's like to be in any other person's shoes except for white people. But I know for a fact that white people are not a problem in the world. Black people are not a problem in the world. Asian people are not a problem in the world. No one specific group is a problem in the world. It takes two to tango, right? If I say something to you, whether you're black, white, gay, straight, male, female, you're going to have a reaction to that, right? And you get to choose your reaction is the thing. And if you say something to me, I get to choose my reaction, right? We have free will for a reason, but a lot of people like to ignore it and say that because you're white, you're entitled to some level of something already. You were born into racism. It's like, no. Nobody was born into racism because they were a specific color. Yes, do white people have a history in this country of owning slaves? Sure, but do you want to go back to the slave trade and how the Africans were selling their own people into the slave trade? It doesn't always have to be a racist thing. And I know I'm getting off topic here and going on a tangent, but my point in saying all this is there should not be some sort of specific agenda, and it does this with religion too. When you say something about the Bible, it says you should include people of all religions. But when you say something about the Quran, it says, that's great. Thanks for being all-inclusive of everybody. When did this become a religion thing? When did this become a religious group thing where when you like a certain religion, that's good, but when you like another one, you should include every religion? Where is that fair? Where does that make any sort of sense? Where is the equality in that everybody wants so badly? Why can't everybody just have their own thing as long as you're not hurting anybody or harming anybody or want to hurt or harm anybody? Then why is it a big idea? But there has to be this agenda by big tech, by whatever you want to say. When you have these AI chatbots and they're being used by kids and they're pushing these agendas seemingly.
Well, what other apps other than Snapchat are you aware of that have these chatbots?
Only Snapchat, but I know ChatGPT is it's like its own thing. Like you can go online and search up ChatGPT and you can use it and talk to it. Again, I don't know what platform Snapchat's using. I know there are a couple different AI chatbots, and ChatGPT is like the most prominent one. But yeah, I don't know.
Well, I'm googling it.
And I wish we could share the screen so that people could see this, and so there's no real way to do that.
I mean, the only way would be to put it on the TV screen.
Yeah, and then I'd have to.
You'd have to.
Yeah.
So, sibling model to instruct GPT, which is trained to follow an instruction and a prompt and provide a detailed response. Basic version is free, so I mean you could use it somehow, possibly. What is it used for? Is an AI chatbot designed to provide human-like conversational interactions. So whoever's programming it can program it to however they want, right? So if it's something, if they are part of the, I don't want to,
Yeah.
if they are part of the I get offended by everything culture, then they're going to program it to be more inclusive of everybody. Or if they have their own, um, what am I trying to say? Their their own feelings on matters, then tendency would be to program it a different way. Does that make sense?
No, it makes sense, but I mean, what do you think?
Well, I think we've become a society where people are offended by a lot, and it's confusing. It's to a lot of people. Why is everything got to be offensive? Why are we not allowed to make our own choices or feel the way we do without fear of somebody getting offended by something?
And what do you think about the possibility of these chatbots being used to push these agendas?
How do I feel about it?
What do you think? I don't
Well,
know.
I don't like it, but that's where we are in a technology sense where if you can program these things, I mean, what's the ultimate goal? What's the end game of AI?
I don't know. I thought Google was pretty good. I thought that was. I thought that's. Hey, if that's as good as we can get it, good. Because any further could be a problem.
Yeah, well, so Google has their version, Microsoft has their version,
Right.
right? I
Yeah.
think they're both. Um, Elon is, I think, looking.
He
into
created his own. He was actually part of creating ChatGPT, and he told the other people involved, "Hey, we should, take it slow." And they said no, and he said, "Fine, I warned you guys." And now he's creating his own.
Well,
But I don't know. I don't even know if Elon is to be trusted. Quite honestly, you can't trust any of these people.
I mean, first to market, right?
Right.
If it gets adopted, it's a race to get it on the market because financially, if you're the first, if you're ahead of everybody else in a new market,
Yeah.
financially that could be very profitable.
Yeah.
That
They're
could be huge.
I think ChatGPT is up to version 3 or something now.
I thought I saw
Yeah.
4.
Version
yeah.
4. Yeah. Imagine what the other versions are going to be like. These things can already sense emotion. They can sense emotion. It's insane. And on Snapchat, if I were to send a picture of, say I had a dog, if I were to snap a picture to the chatbot, which you can do, of a dog, you know what it would say? It would give a reaction. It's able to pick up on what it is, a live picture of something, and it would say, "Nice dog," or "It looks like you're having fun with your dog," or "What's your dog's name," or something like that. It can tell. It can tell what these things are.
Hmm.
And that's not the scary part to me. The scary part to me is the unknown. Is what is going to happen down the line with these things.
Yeah. Well, I mean, nobody knows, do they?
Nope. And when these big things happen, when there's some big thing that everybody is saying is the next big thing and it's going to be great, so many times has that thing come out to harm us, you know?
I mean, I just Googled apps with chat GPT, and I mean it gives you a bunch of them. They're Chat GPT 3 for Android, Chat God for Android, Echo AI Chat. I mean there are so many, and I believe a lot of them are free. Google, Microsoft, Chat Sonic.
And that's And that's a scary thing.
Expedia, Instacart, Slack, and OpenTable. Those are four biggies that use ChatGPT. I mean,
And
so
there are now these AI programs, essentially like um, dating apps in a way, where you can talk to a robot that is like it's like your girlfriend or like your boyfriend,
yeah,
and
you don't know.
it's a virtual like I'm not saying like the bots. I'm not saying that. I'm saying there are these apps um where there's like an avatar, like an animated person
Hmm.
um that is like your boyfriend or girlfriend, and they talk to you like that, and you can have like an intimate thing with them.
Weird.
But here's how dangerous it is. If people are already getting in less relationships, having less kids, whatever, because of all the porn and everything out there, what do you think this is going to do? Because people will get so addicted to that. They're going to get so addicted to, I don't even have to leave the house. I don't even have to put in any physical effort to have an intimate relationship with someone. And I can just do it with this bot that might be more attractive and not bitch and moan at me when I do something they don't like.
So hearing you say that
And
about
Jordan Peterson's talked about this, and it's very dangerous.
so, oh, it is dangerous, and so hearing you say that about an intimate relationship between two people, I'll throw another movie out there. You know, I kind of like movies,
Yeah.
but Demolition Man, Wesley Snipes, Sylvester Stallone. That was sometime in the '90s, I believe, but there was a scene Sandra Bullock and Sylvester Stallone were going to be intimate, and instead of physical contact, they both put on like a one of the VR headsets, and that's what was going to happen. How they were going to be intimate with one another, and it was kind of crazy how that would happen. But is that along the lines of what you're saying? Is that out of the realm of possibility in the future?
Do you think that as a society, 40 years ago when these movies were coming out in the 80s and 90s, and I guess some in the 70s as well, late 70s, about all this AI, all this technology, do you think, sorry, I gotta sneeze, false alarm, do you think that in a way we should have seen this coming when all this stuff is happening and all this, you know, there's all this thing about artificial intelligence and all this crazy technology, and it's great and whatever, and it's horrible, and it ends up destroying everything and all these movies and shows and everything. Do you think we should have seen it coming in a way that something was going to happen like this, like down the line?
The technology, yeah,
Yeah.
that's hard to say. In hindsight, it'd be great if we knew what was coming, right? But that's hindsight, and you can't go backwards. You can only learn for it. You can only learn from it. So, um, but where is it going? Nobody knows, or do they?
I'm not hesitant to say that we should shut it down and not touch it. I'm not hesitant to say that it has more probability for harm than it does good. I mean,
I mean, what's the ultimate goal?
I've not heard an ultimate goal. What is it going to help us do? I don't know.
Uh,
Everyone wants to freak out about how many, how many jobs were created this month and how many, there are so many people that are jobless and homeless. What do you think AI is going to do when it starts taking over jobs?
So let me ask you this: go back to some of the references I made, and even before that, technology and all. Where did these ideas come from? Right, for these movies,
Mm.
they had to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
what, where did they come from? Or, you know that book? Who was it? 1984.
George Orwell.
Yeah, and everything he had to say about what was going to be coming down the road.
Well, these people are either time travelers and psychics, and they can see the future. That's first option. Second option is this stuff has been in the works for years and years and years, and we haven't known about it, just like other things.
So
and
what's more probable, in your opinion?
that these things have been in the works for years and years and years,
So,
and we haven't been told about them?
I mean, at some point, somebody dreamt them up, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
With intent.
whatever their intent was. I mean, that
Good
could,
or bad, there was
yeah.
intent behind
You know,
dreaming these things up and letting everyone know about
and the
it.
intent could have changed over time. When
Mhm.
somebody said the original intent is X,
Right.
well, if I make a few tweaks, I can, my intent, right? You originally came up with it, the idea,
Right.
but I can tweak that into my own and take it down this direction.
Yeah. Do you think we've known about these things?
Well, not you and I.
Well, not no. Do you think that not we, but do you think that let's just say the government, because I don't know, there's so
You
many
trying to
people
get-
that there's so
Are
many
you
people
trying to get us censored again?
there's so many people that work for the government that you can't just say the government, because there's like I don't know, it's weird. Do you think that like someone has known about these things for years?
I wouldn't be surprised.
How far back would you guess that it goes? Just don't even think
How
about
far
it. Just
back what goes?
serious thought and effort being put into creating artificial intelligence and other technology, advanced technology.
Well, I think advanced technology, you would have to go back to at least the 70s because of computers. Look at the first computer, IBM, I think first computer, IBM's Watson.
Right.
So, that was, I think, the first supercomputer. So, at that point, the technology, even prior to that, but that was the first real mainframe computer.
Right.
So, from there, it's only taken what people could dream of and think of and keep going.
Right.
Because after that, then you had the founders of Microsoft, who shall remain nameless. You can Google that if you want to know who they are, building computers in their garage.
Yeah, well, we should really only say founder, because one of them basically stole the idea and stole the company, and now wants to act like he's some philanthropist, great guy, he's amazing, he's so great that he invests tons of money into the biggest pesticide and GMO company in the world, and then buys up the most farmland in the United States. Look it up, guys. The information's right there. That's how much he. That's how much
down the road of conspiracy theories.
That's not a conspiracy theory. He bought the most farmland. He also invested the most money into Monsanto, which is a big pesticide GMO company. That's not a conspiracy theory. That's a fact. We could look it up right now.
Okay, well, some people might think of that as being a visionary of sorts.
Well,
or smart, or fiscally smart.
Here's the thing. You can't say, I care about everybody, and then go ahead and invest your money into something that directly harms billions of people. That doesn't really make sense.
Well, all about motives,
And
right?
for everyone that doesn't know who we're talking about, it rhymes with Schmill Schmates. All right? That's who we're talking about.
Schmill.
Schmill Schmates. All right?
Schmill. All
Yep.
right.
That's who we're talking about right now.
Huh.
Big philanthropy guy. Yep.
Gil Bates?
Gil Bates, yeah.
Gil Bates.
He could cure world hunger, but you know what's more important to him?
What's that?
Feeding billions of people unhealthy food.
Well, that could be said for a lot of companies, a lot of people
Yeah,
out there.
it could. It really could. It almost makes you think that there's like an agenda
Probably is.
when you
You
can.
said it to me before on a personal level, and we won't get into that, but everybody has their own agenda, right?
Yeah.
We all do.
Well, no. I think when you have an agenda, it's typically a bad thing. But when you have
No.
like a no, when people say that's their agenda, it's like it's has a negative connotation to it.
Doesn't mean it's negative.
Negative connotation. So when you say it and a bunch of people watch this, they're gonna think like, oh, bad thing, you know. So just negative connotation. Just pointing that out. But everyone, like, I don't know, I like my agenda is, or maybe it's easier to say what your agenda is because you're a grown man, you have kids, and you have whatever. Your agenda is provide for my family, make sure that my kids are safe, make sure that, you know, everything is going right in their world, and then make sure everything's going right in my world. You know, just like you're the family man, you know?
So that's
you're
what you think my agenda
you're a
is.
father, you're a guy, like that. You're if you had an agenda, what you want to accomplish is to make sure that your family is, um, you know, happy and safe and healthy, and that is your thing. That is
and
your one.
able to provide for themselves
Right. Yeah.
and be on their road, be on their own.
Right. That is your job to help raise your kids into mature, well functioning adults. Responsible,
Thoughtful,
thoughtful,
generous.
generous. We could keep naming adjectives. Yeah. So
Respectful.
that's respectful. That is your agenda if you had one, right?
Is it?
I think it is.
I mean, that's what you see. So that could all be a facade, don't you think?
Well, my last podcast, I talked about how this was like the deep state was running my podcast, and this isn't really real, and we're actually broadcasting Nazi Germany stuff. And
Really?
it was a
That's
joke.
where we're going.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you have a German last name, and you
Right.
immediately go there.
I get labeled because of it. It's horrible. An NFL coach has my last name. A head coach of an NFL team has the last name Reich. I don't understand.
Is that Frank?
It's Frank Reich. Yeah. How did you know?
He was also a player.
Well, yeah, he was a quarterback.
You know what? And there was also a government worker with the same last name.
Yeah.
Secretary of Commerce, I believe, years ago. Robert
Reich. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So where are you going with this?
I forgot. We kind of got off track. Kind of got distracted. We were talking about agendas, and I brought up.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You.
Everybody has.
Gave me you laid down what my agenda is via your perception.
Right. That's like that's your thing. That's what you're working on. You know, that's what you want to happen more than anything in the world is to watch your children grow up and succeed and be happy and be good people. You know, that's
love their dad.
Yeah. Well, I think that comes with it once you teach them that. But if you don't teach them that stuff, then they'll probably resent you for it. You know. And they won't have you on their podcast anymore.
Oh, so I've taught that to you? Or do you resent me for it?
Well,
or are there other things you resent me for?
No, I don't resent you at all.
All right.
I don't resent anyone for any reason. Do you resent anyone for any reason?
Nope.
Do you have resent in your heart?
Nope.
No,
No.
no.
Who would I resent?
I don't know.
And why?
We're just on the topic of resentment.
Nope.
So, yeah, I guess everyone does have their own agenda.
Including you.
Yeah, what do you think my agenda is?
To spread peace, love, and happiness.
You almost got it right. Although peace, love, and positivity isn't my mantra. That's not really mine.
No.
It was Logic's, and then I started
Well-
saying it because I thought it was great, and it is. But then I kind of stopped saying it, and now I'm just like labeled as by pretty much everyone now. Pretty much all my peers and everyone that kind of knows my name and who I am to even a small extent, even if I've never really met them. Everyone just knows me as like the motivational positivity guy.
Well-
So that's just what I'm kind of known as.
Sure. Well, you do spread that. A lot of that.
Yeah.
Positivity, motivation. You are a seeker of truth,
Mm.
right? And whatever it is, whether it's nutrition, whether it's health, fitness, being active, active mind, active body, education. You've always been big into reading and learning.
Yeah.
So maybe not traditionally, but overall as a person, growing, in mind, body, spirit.
And I think by doing that with myself, it'll help better equip me to do that with the people around me.
Sure.
Because when you treat yourself like you deserve love and kindness and support and good people around you, that's how you'll treat other people. But if you treat yourself like you're less than and like you don't deserve any of that, then that's how you're going to treat other people. And the same thing goes for how other people, for the most part, it's a choice. But if other people treat you, if you have good people around you, then you're more likely to treat other people the same way and vice versa.
Very important to keep yourself around, or keep good people around you. Now, do you think people might take you more seriously if you got a haircut? Just wondering. Just throwing it out there.
I don't know. Depends what type of people they are. I don't know. I'm not looking for people, like, I want people to take me seriously, but at the same time, that's their choice if they want to or not. I think
Sure.
I think pretty much everyone I know takes me seriously, you know?
I'll throw him out there again. What about Bagley?
What about him?
Ah,
Nobody
do
can
I
take
even
him
start?
seriously with those earrings.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, there's studs in his
He
earring.
needs
I
big
can't-
hoops.
Yeah.
Big hoops.
Yeah. No. There are a lot of men that have long hair and it does not look good.
Are you one of those men?
I'm not one of those men.
Really?
I can confidently say that my hair is very well taken care of and it looks good and it's nice. You know, for a long-haired male, don't compare me to people that don't have long hair. For a long-haired male, my hair looks good. It
Christopher has
it's
long
not
hair.
messy. It's not, like whatever. A lot of guys just like let their hair grow out and they never trim it. They don't take care of it. They don't wash it or condition it or brush it or do whatever with it. And that's, so for a guy that has long hair, I don't look like I'm homeless.
What was the point of growing long hair?
The point of it?
I mean,
I think at first I always wanted it because Christopher had it. And then,
so it's his fault.
no, it's not his fault because
Okay.
he shaved his head and I would
After a couple of years of having
right,
it
and I would
long.
never shave my head, and he I don't know, he now he has regular whatever short straight hair, and I don't know, I didn't follow him with that. I don't know, I've always felt, I don't know, it just feels like it matches my vibe. It feels like it matches my energy, the type of person I am. I don't know,
Flowing.
flowing. I don't know.
No.
I liked it. I don't know. I felt a sense of like standing out. Being different, and not that I did it to be different than anyone. Not that I'm not being myself, but like I stand out from the crowd. I don't go with the crowd.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna do that anyway. Just your personality.
Right. That's
It's
my
not about
right.
it.
That's
Not
my
about the hair.
that's my personality. I'm saying I think that kind of like plays into the personality of like, oh, it's not a typical thing. Guys have long hair and they like take care of it and they whatever.
Sure.
And that's also like the balance of like the feminine side too. Like like taking care of your, you know, hygiene, like all that, and like looking good and whatever. Because a lot of guys, they just like throw whatever on and they don't
Sure.
care, and it's like
Give it the
whatever,
sniff
and
test.
give it to the sniff test, and like I want to look presentable, I want to look good, but like I want to have my own style,
Sure.
So I think that's part of it, and I think that I don't know,
Individuality is
yeah,
big. You have to be yourself.
and like when I get compared to, I've gotten everything from everything specific from Matthew McConaughey in Interstellar is what I got compared to once. I also got compared to Jesus Christ because of my hair.
Oh.
So I've gotten a wide range of things, all good. Yeah, most people tell me like I've had, and all right, I'm about to flex on everybody for real right here, right now. I have had girls tell me that they want my hair,
Wow.
which is just totally flattering, and so I think it's an ego thing. Like I don't know, that boosted my ego. Not that I had the hair, because like my ego gets boosted, but like I don't know, when you have girls, and girls typically have longer hair, and they're like, "Oh, I want your hair. Like your hair is just so like, it's perfect." That
What girls?
just girls.
Ben's texting me
I've
right
had-
now. He doesn't believe it.
Well, I don't know. That's on him. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm looking. So I'm just. I wanted to see in Interstellar what he looked like.
Yeah.
But that's
McConaughey
not-
never had long hair in Interstellar, but I guess maybe in the moment I looked like I had.
I haven't. I don't know if that I've seen it, and I would.
It's a good movie. I liked it.
Let's see.
Interstellar.
I mean, So, Dazed and Confused was like his breakout movie. That's where his line, all right, all right, all right. If
Yeah.
you've never seen that one, then another good movie. I don't know. He doesn't. Does he really have long hair here?
He didn't have very long hair. I don't know. I don't know. I was told. Yeah. I was told I look like him, from Interstellar, or
Okay.
maybe just him in general. I don't know. Maybe we got on the topic of Interstellar after that, but I was told I look like Matthew McConaughey, and that's a compliment. He's not ugly,
No, he's not.
He's. I mean,
So
he's.
you have
you know?
longer hair than he does.
Yeah. I don't know.
He's got the what is that lettuce in the back?
Yeah. I mean, I guess, but
No?
yeah. I don't know.
Alright.
I used to have really good lettuce before my hair like fully grew out.
Well, that's true.
Yeah. Is the button on the microphone all the way up? Is it good?
Yeah.
It's good.
It's up.
All right. No, I just had a bad experience with that last time. Someone accidentally pushed it down.
It was Asher, wasn't it?
It was
Yeah.
Asher.
Why
yeah.
am I not surprised with that?
And
kid?
he's probably gonna watch this too. So
I know. That's why I'm calling him out.
yeah. How long have we been going? I said we're doing this about an hour. All right, we're at about an hour now. You
Alright.
want to wrap it up? Or
Sure.
You want? All right. All right. This was a great conversation
Yeah.
about artificial intelligence and a lot of other stuff.
Well, I
don't
think
know,
we
it's
should
good.
continue it after. I'd like to learn a little bit more about what's currently going on
Yeah.
and get an idea of where things might be going.
Yeah. Boomer.
Assassin?
No. I'm calling you a boomer.
Oh, you're calling me a boomer.
Yeah.
I'm not a boomer. That's not my generation. Millennial.
I'm no, that's not my generation. I'm just saying
Oh,
boomer
what
because
is your generation?
I'm Gen Z.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Christopher's the millennial.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, and he is. He is the millennial.
No,
You-
wait. What about
just-
Carter?
He's Gen. He's my.
Gen Z as well.
He's 2 years younger than me.
See, it means a lot. Are you sure?
I'm Gen Z. Christopher's a millennial. I think Caroline's Gen Z too.
Age range. Mid 90s to early 2000s. Okay. All right. People born from. So he's right on the cusp.
Yeah.
People born from 81 to 96. So you're Gen Z. I'm more Gen X. Let's see, baby boomer. All right, boomers, 1946 to 1964.
Yeah.
That's not me.
No, I'm just.
Me,
you know-
65 to 80.
You know the thing a couple years ago, all right, boomer, where like a
Yeah,
young
yeah.
person would call, someone of your age or whatever a boomer because
Yeah.
they didn't understand what they were saying.
Yep.
That's why I was calling you a boomer,
So you didn't know what.
because
you
you're
were
not
saying.
with the times. You're not hip, you know? Yeah.
Huh.
That's what I'm saying.
An interesting theory you got there.
Not a theory.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Well, thanks for having me on.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode number 30 of the Collective Consciousness Show with my sperm donor, Greg Reich.
Yeah, I'm glad you did some research and found me.
Yeah, no, that was. All right, guys. Somewhere on the screen, I have no clue where. Just find it. It's another video that you should watch, and then also, coincidentally on the screen is it's the subscribe button. You know. All right. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. You know, do all that. Smash that like button. I don't know. Say something funny in the comments. This is going on way too long. All right. Have a good night, everybody. See ya.